It's Tim Albright with AVNation with an AVNation special, hitting down to the road to InfoComm 2022, back and in person. And with me to talk about that very show is the young lady that heads up everything and tells everybody what to do and pulls it off. Her name is Rochelle Richardson, Senior Vice President for Exhibitions at AVIXA. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Tim. It's a pleasure to join you today.
Absolutely. So I say back in person. We had a version. We had InfoComm last year, right? Let's not pull any punches. Let's not parse words. We had an InfoComm. It was an incredible feat to do it in the midst of everything happening. With at this point, I've forgotten which variant it was that decided to go through Florida. Um, but 2 years ago, you guys decided to kind of pull back and not do one. Obviously, that was the very first part of COVID. You did a virtual event, and this is kind of the first time 2 years later where we're all expecting it to kind of be back in person and at a much bigger event. You've got both the North Hall and the brand new West Hall at the Las Vegas Convention Center. We'll talk about that in a second. But first and foremost, when you're looking at this event, the event itself is the 7th, 8th, the 8th, 9th, and 10th of June. You've got classes happen Saturday beforehand. What are you most excited about this year's InfoComm?
Oh, wow. Tim, thank you very much. And what a great introduction. And yes, it has been two incredible years that probably none of us could have anticipated, planned for, and knew what was coming next. I will say this. I am very thankful that we are seeing the light at the end of a very dark runway or tunnel, and that we were able to gather together in person last year for InfoComm 2021. We were between the Omicron and the Delta variant,
Yep.
just to put it very candidly. And of course, just before the borders opened. So not an ideal time, but we certainly made the very best of it. And thank you to the incredible faithfulness and just dedication of our industry to connect and join us in person, both our companies, that solution providers, as well as our attendees that joined us in Orlando. But we are excited and heading to Las Vegas for InfoComm 2022, and excited about it because truly you can feel the momentum, you can feel the enthusiasm, you can feel the excitement of bringing back together the pro AV industry, the community, and reconnecting with our peers, to have the opportunity to showcase and highlight solutions and products sprawling across the north and, of course, the west exhibit halls of the Las Vegas Convention Center. We're very excited to see that where we are at this particular time. We, of course, have more than 500 companies and counting that are committed to showcasing the latest and greatest in technologies. And of course, we're looking for the thousands of our industry professionals and peers to join us in Las Vegas this June. Not to mention, I think people are just ready to get outside and off of their computers and laptops. And while we certainly have been able to use all of the great technologies to connect virtually and in a hybrid environment, but there's nothing like coming together in person. And we're excited about just seeing everyone face to face in June.
So we mentioned the fact that we're in a brand new hall, the West Hall, kind of right across the street through there. You do have a bridge connecting the north and the west. One of the things that I learned this year, I attended CES for the first time, and they have it's the Tesla loop that takes you from that west side over onto the central and the north. In addition to that, talk for a second about this brand new hall, and it's not to be silly, but it does have a brand new feel. It has a new architecture. It's a gorgeous two-story or three-story atrium when you walk into this place. Talk for a second about the ability that the VIXA's been able to do and InfoComm's been able to do, you leveraging this brand new space that the LVC put up.
Absolutely. And as you know, there is a lot of excitement and buzz about the new West building, which we're calling the West Halls on the Las Vegas Convention campus. The West Hall it has a fresh feel to it simply because it's one of the largest contiguous spaces with minimal columns throughout the exhibit hall space. For InfoComm, we are going to use pretty much every ounce of space from the first level, where you will find entry into the West Hall, to our exhibit space, to our registration area, the lobby space, of course, which we will have the opportunity to welcome the thousands of attendees that will be present, to the second and third, fourth levels that will have our meeting space. We'll have actually the education sessions. We'll have some of our meeting spaces that will be leveraged as well. And so it's just going to provide a great opportunity for our attendees to have the latest and greatest in technologies offered in the space, open, contiguous space, minimal columns throughout the exhibit halls. And it has allowed us to move the education program that was once held at the Westgate now so that it is solely presented on the campus of the Las Vegas Convention Center. So our program in its entirety will be between the two buildings, between the North Building as well as the West Building. And so with that, we are taking over both the West Hall and the North Halls. Each of the halls will have their distinct solution areas and unique experiences as well as education sessions. So for instance, in the West Hall, this is the area where we will have productivity tools in AV, as well as having audio and conferencing and collaboration pavilions located there. So you're going to be able to find everything from a product or solution in regards to the West Hall around controls and learning technologies, and then some additional general exhibits, as well as the technology innovation stage will be inside the West Halls. You also find in the North halls, you'll see where we'll have AV solutions for experience and engagement, which includes our digital signage and live events and entertainment pavilions, as well as some content streaming and production and general exhibits. The neat thing about both of these halls or the areas is that they are connected via a bridge. That's a covered area, an enclosed area, so where there will be the warmer temperatures outside, there are, of course, the controlled cooler temperatures across the bridge capability, not to mention the Elon Musk underground transport system, which we and our attendees will be able to leverage as well, making it very convenient to connect the two buildings on the campus and making it easy for our attendees to be able to travel between the two buildings during their visit to InfoComm.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned education, the fact that everything's kind of all back under one roof, which is important. But as we wrap up here, talk about just the various types of education, because yes, certainly there are education classes you can sign up for. Some of them cost money, some of them don't. But you also have education spots throughout the show floor. You have folks, subject matter experts in those pavilions. Talk about the various types of education that folks can kind of experience and the knowledge that they can gain during InfoComm this year.
Absolutely. We have a ton of education, as you've already alluded to, but we have, of course, our 3-day course offerings, which are offered as a more of an intense, immersive style to learn more about networking systems, design thinking, project management, and we also offer CTS exam preparation. These courses are offered Saturday, June 4th through Monday, June 6th. Typically from about 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Each of these days. You'll have CTS, CTSI, CTSD prep, as well as CTS testing on Tuesday through Thursday. We also have the InfoComm Education Pass, and some attendees will know this formally as the seminar and workshop packages, but it's a great way to learn more from our experts while you're at InfoComm on just a wide range of subjects, from everything from audio to video and everything, of course, in between. We have about 80 plus sessions, which includes also design, conferencing and collaboration, as well as our education pass and the IT and networked AV education area, as well as our manufacturer training. We also have our premium workshops. These are 2 hours of AV experts, really going deep into more of the meatier topics about streaming, audio design, as well as displays and more. You can see different premium workshops that are offered by visiting the InfoCommShow.org website. And then we have, of course, our bite-size education, which is offered at the technology innovation stage. This is free, whereas the other courses and sessions that I've mentioned, there's a fee associated with those. The technology innovation session, complimentary sessions are offered, of course, during the show hours, Wednesday through Friday. And then you'll, of course, have, as I mentioned, the manufacturers training, which our exhibitors will provide a more in-depth view and perspective on AV solutions and technologies. All this and so much more. If I went into every detailed session, this could certainly take far more time. But I'm very delighted that for each of our sessions and education, we also have some focus areas that I like to highlight as well, which includes focusing on conferencing and collaboration. We have 165 exhibitors showcasing the latest products and solutions around that. Everything from audio conferencing systems, cameras, conferencing and collaboration installations. You'll see the education sessions that connect to those, as well as digital signage being another focus area for us. We have over 125 different exhibitors that are showcasing those technologies. We also, as a part of our digital signage, have design, which is in collaboration with the Digital Signage Federation. As a part of design and digital signage, we offer a networking event called Digital Signage Happy Hour, which will be at the Brooklyn Bowl on Tuesday evening for the digital signage community. We also have learning technologies at our event, and then, of course, content production and streaming. Not to mention, there's a focus on audio and live events as well. So all of this, as well as the great sessions and topics and presenters that will be at InfoComm this year. So we encourage all attendees, if you have not registered for any of these, take advantage of it. And for those out there that have not yet registered for InfoComm, I hope you'll join us this June 4th through the 10th at the Las Vegas Convention Center for InfoComm 2022.
All right, very good. Rochelle Richardson from InfoComm and AVIXA. You already said it once, but say it again. How do people register and find out more?
Visit us at the InfoCommShow.org website. Select the registration tab and register. But prior to registering, take a look at our comprehensive education offering. And again, we look forward to seeing you this June.
All right, very good. We look forward to hanging out and seeing you as well, Rochelle. For us, for AVNation, go by our website, AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv, and follow along as we also head to Las Vegas. Like Rochelle said, starts on the 4th, but we'll hit the show floor on the 8th, 9th, and 10th of June 2022. All that and more at AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv.